Hello everybody and thank you for joining me. This is Sierra from Sierra T Designs, and today I have this fun card to share with you, and we're going to have a little bit of an adventure with it. So let's jump right in. So this super adorable stamp set was actually sent to me by Simon Says Stamp. This is their Dance and Twirl stamp set. It's brand new from their Stamptember release. And I got to play with it, so that's really exciting. And I'm going to stamp it down on some Hammermill cardstock with some Copic Safe ink. This is my preferred Copic Safe paper and Copic Safe ink because we're going to do some Copic coloring when we get in there. I am going to create a full shaker card pocket window here, and it goes so wrong. So we're gonna have some steps that are gonna be interesting here because I had to change a bunch of what I wanted to do with my card. So you've seen me stamp out a mask there. And now I'm just fussy cutting out the mask. You can't really see the lines on the mask, so I didn't really keep this in because you can barely see it. So I just cut around on the lines. I can see them in person, but it's pretty hard to see them on camera. So I'm just going to fussy cut around my mask, and that's so that I can add some wings because obviously I want my girl to be in the front, so that I can add some wings behind her. So it kind of looks like she's flying. I thought that would be really beautiful. A girlfriend of mine and I were talking about adding wings to this girl. So Nancy, thank you so much for this great idea. So here I am masking off my girl on my Hammermill cardstock, and then I'm going to bring in the Simon Says Stamp Beautiful Butterflies stamp set, and that is how I'm going to give this beautiful girl some wings. So I am going to just kind of line it up to the center of the girl's body there. And you're going to see as I stamp it down that I'm trying really hard not to add any ink to the antenna because I was worried that they would probably stick out past the head, and then I wasn't really sure how I was going to mask that. So I use some ink, and then I go and wipe off the antenna with just like a baby wipe, just so that there's no ink there. I don't think it would have actually gone off the mask once I see it stamped down. But this was just a precaution so that it didn't go past the mask, because anything I stamp past the mask will be visible, right? So I stamp it down twice just to get a really good impression, making sure that my cardstock is still in the corner of my Misti. This is a good idea when you want to do layer stamping like this, to have something like a stamping platform, just because it makes it a lot easier when you have to double stamp it, which I did need to do because some of the ink didn't transfer well enough across the cardstock there. So I'm going to do the 2 layers, and then I bring in my little pick tool here and just lift up my mask so you can see my girl that now has wings. So that I thought was super cool, such a great idea. So here I have a piece of Moda Scrap Fly and Scrap Collection cardstock, or pattern paper, and I brought in Tumbled Glass, and I'm just adding some really subtle cloud detail to the background. I thought that this would be a great way to have a beautiful background. This cardstock, or this pattern paper, is stunning. However, you don't really see it in the final card, which is a really big bummer, simply because the cardstock is so pretty, or the pattern paper. The pattern paper is so pretty, and you really don't get to enjoy it. But I thought I'd keep it in so you guys could see that it's quite stunning. You just don't really see it in the card. And we'll go into a reason why you don't see it in the card when we get a little bit further in, but it just, it was not... This card just went in a completely different direction than I had intended it to go. So, I mean, you have to adapt. Generally I refuse to start over on cards. So it's always a bit of a interesting adapt to make cards work when they aren't going the way I think that they should be going. So there is my background there. And I did flick on some perfect pearls. And again, this is unnecessary because you can't see it in the final card. But you guys know I love shimmer and shine, so I had to add some on there. So I did flick some on just from a mini mister bottle I have made up with my perfect pearls in it. And then I flicked it all over the background. So we're going to jump right into the Copic coloring. This is sped way up so that this video isn't super long. But for the dress, I'm going to use RV02, RV04, RV09, and RV69. And now bear with me. I don't generally color people. I'm more drawn to florals and like animals and florals, that kind of thing. So I always have a little bit of an interesting time trying to decide how to color people and their clothing and whatever. So I was trying to create like a ruching effect on the bottom of the dress there. I don't know if I actually succeeded with it or not, but I think she turned out pretty cute. So I don't know, you guys will have to let me know what you think, but we are going to jump through the Copic Coloring fairly quickly here just so you don't have to watch it too much. I do go lightest to darkest and then back through to the lightest. So I go like lightest, mid-tone, dark tone, mid-tone, light tone, depending on how many colors I've brought in, of course. In that case, there was 4. In the hair, there's actually 3. So I have E29, E59, and E79. I just really wanted a rich, dark brown hair. So that's kind of where I went with that. And I kind of just pull the darkest color from the scalp and then tried to have, a lighter part in the middle of the hair. I also bring in a white gel pen later to add more highlights because it didn't quite come across as well as I had hoped. But I mean, you could have, if you'd have done a 4-color blend here, you would have had another like 1 more lighter color and it would have been a little bit easier to see the highlight. But I opted to just do 3 colors because it was such a small area. And then for skin, I went E50, E00, E11, and E04. This is kind of, again, I don't do people very often, so I'm always a little lost on skin tones, so I kind of just looked up skin tone blends for Copic Coloring, and this is Kelly Ledevola's go-to skin color combo. So I thought I would give it a shot, try it, see what I thought. So this is kind of my first time with this specific color combo for skin. I think it turned out pretty. I like it's a very light color, which works well with the vibrant colors I have in the background or in the dress and the wings, as you guys see we get in there. But yeah, so I mean, this is all a bit new for me. But since I had this stamp set, I really wanted to try it out because, I mean, how can you not play with something brand new, right? So I'm doing my best here. And you can see that I am giving her knees intentionally because her legs are just straight little pieces of like leg. So I went in and like kind of created my own kneecaps so that she had a little more definition to her legs. And I did bring in R20 to just add a little bit of color to her cheeks. And now here on the wings, I wanted to do something a bit different. So I'm kind of doing more of an ombre in kind of a teal coloring family, going from lightest to darkest out through the wing. So I have BG10, BG11, BG13, BG15, and BG18. They're all very close in the color, so you can see there. And then I'm just kind of building out from the center of her body to the outside of the wing. I thought that if I brought in something that was really pretty like a bright blue, it would look really nicely on the background. However, in the end, it doesn't matter because you can't see the background. But I still think this turned out really pretty. So you can see here that I'm just kind of adding them just from the center outwards. And then it's kind of like an ombre teal effect, as it just gets subtly darker as you get further out. So yeah, I thought that would be a fun kind of addition to this very bright pink dress. But I'm going to tone the dress down a little bit. I add polka dots to the bottom skirt a little bit later when we get there, but just for some added detail. And I'm going to show you this, but it's honestly not going to matter. I stamped down, this is a sentiment from the same Beautiful Butterfly stamp set that had the wings in it, and it just says Beautiful Friend. I stamped that down on the panel here, but in the end, because of the issues with the pocket, you can't see it. So I had to do something different anyways. So, I mean, I'm going to show you that that was my plan. That was my original idea, but it did not pan out how I had thought it would. So we're kind of just going to do something slightly different. And I did bring in, this is my Spectrum Noir glitter pen. It's just a clear glitter pen. And I'm just putting it all over the wings because I thought that would be really, really pretty. I kind of try to show it to you in the final image. It's a little bit difficult to see though, honestly. In person, I can see it. It's stunning. There's so much shine there. But in the card, it's a little bit difficult to see. But you see it a little bit when I hold it up at the end there and kind of tip it in the light. You can kind of see it, but yeah, and then I'm just going to add some Jelly Roll pen. This is where I put the little polka dots on the bottom of the dress, and I add a little bit of a highlight to the hair and the cheeks. You could, of course, go wild and add more. I just kind of went subtle. So here is where everything kind of falls apart a little bit. So I have the Tonic pockets, like the shaker pockets, and generally I make my own, but I really wanted to try these, see how they compared to the ones that I make, and so I'm using it, and sadly, it has so much static that you can't even see my background when I go and put the glitter in, because all the glitter sticks to the pocket. So I have Simon Says stamp, unicorn confetti, and unicorn dust here. And like you can see right there, the minute I put that confetti in there, it just adhered itself to the pocket and didn't move. So sadly, there was a lot of static to this pocket. So you can't even really see the background at this point. You're going to see here, I'm going to hold it up and kind of try to get it to move and get it to, but it doesn't do anything. It's just kind of stuck to the plastic. So it really changed the color of my background. You can't even really see the clouds now. There's no definition there, and it's difficult to see the sentiment in the bottom. So because of that, I mean, at this point, I'm committed, like I'm making this card. So I adhered this, I actually went and heat embossed the same sentiment down on a piece of black cardstock. And I cut it out with my decal trimmer just to add a little bit of extra, like a little bit of, it's not just straight, it's got some little more pizzazz to it. And then I'm going to adhere them both flat because I'm going to add a little bit on top of my butterfly, or well, she's not a butterfly, my dancing girl with wings, because I just wanted to add some different kind of dimension. And you guys know me, if you've been to my channel a minute, you know how much I love everything shiny. So I am choosing to add some pearls to this card on the front. I wouldn't necessarily have done this except for the fact that you can't see any of the shimmer or shine in the background really, because it's kind of lost. So I brought in Studio Katia's Arctic Breeze pearls, and then I also have this really cute little flower. Here it looks really orange. It's actually more corally than it is orange, but I brought that in, and I got that free when I ordered something else from Studio Katia, and I just haven't used them, and I thought this would be super cute. And then I also adhered a pearl in the center of that little flower. So I'm going to hold this up, and I would love to know what you guys think. Do you think my original card idea would have been prettier had not all of this confetti got stuck in the background? Do you think that this turned out really pretty, so it worked out okay anyway? What do you guys think? I'd love to know how you think this card went, because it just went in a direction I was not aiming for it to go, and yeah, I think it turned out okay. I'm not sure. It's not the most amazing card I've ever made. It's not the worst by far either, but it just didn't go the way I quite had planned. But here you can kind of see the sparkle in those wings. But yeah, so that's the card I have to share with you guys this week. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you'll consider leaving me a like, consider subscribing, and leave me a comment and tell me what you think of this card. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.